Okay, let's do some homework together. We have moved into division. We are still practicing our multiplication by using multiplication to check our division answers. Yesterday, we focused on box method. Today, we focused on standard algorithm. They can choose whichever way works best for them. So if they prefer box method, they can do it on this one. If they prefer standard, that's what today was about. But moving forward, whichever way they feel most comfortable with, that's the way they need to do it. So I'm going to give an example of both ways on the first question that we do together. And then beyond that, I will use standard algorithm. So 3 and 4 of tonight's homework should be done for them on the back of their paper. So we are going to skip those. And we are going to go on to number 5. So their paper that they are using should be folded and creased. So they'll have a bit of a crease down the center of their paper. And we do that so on one side they're going to label it solve, and on the other side they're going to label it IO. IO stands for inverse operation. That's where they will do their multiplication to check to see if their division is correct. So on our first one, we have 70 as our divisor and 632 as our dividend. So when you're doing standard algorithm, you ask yourself, the first step is divide. So they can make a little divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. This is to remind them of the steps. So some of them call it dad, mom, sister, brother, Rover. Some of them call it does McDonald's serve burgers raw. When you write that out, this acronym out, and then you will know that the D stands for divide, M is multiply, S is subtract, B is bring down if you're doing standard. If you're doing box, it's bring up. And then the R is repeat. So you repeat until you've divided all the numbers. So using standard algorithm, we're going to ask ourselves, how many times will 70 fit into 6? Well, it will not. So we're going to move over one more number. How many times does 70 fit into 63? It will not. So we're going to have to use the whole number. How many times will 70 fit into 63? They are going to have to write their multiples out of the divisor, which 70 is a multiple of 10. So they think in terms of multiples of 7. So 7 times 2 is 14. So 70 times 2 would be 140. So how many times will 70, and I'm going to round this to 630, and we know that 9 times 7 is 630. So 9 times 70 is 630. So that means it will fit in there 9 times without going over. Okay, so we divided. Now we need to multiply. You multiply the number that you've put up at the top where your answer goes. This is where our quotient will go. You multiply that number times your divisor. Well, we've already done that down here, so we know it's 630. Then now we've multiplied, now we subtract. You subtract what you multiplied away from your dividend, which leaves you 2. 70 will not go into 2. And we don't have any more numbers to bring down, so the answer is 9 with the remainder of 2. Now we are going to do inverse operation to make sure we have the right answer, because if it doesn't multiply out correctly, then we're wrong somewhere. So when you do inverse operation, you multiply the divisor by the quotient. And then if you have a remainder, you add that in last. So you'll multiply 70 times 9. So this is your divisor. This is your quotient. And you get 630. And then add in your remainder. And that sum is 632. And this is it. So here's our divisor, our quotient, and our dividend. And we have made one big happy family, and we are correct. Then they will draw a line underneath it. Now, number 6, we are going to do box method. We will do box method with division and with multiplication to demonstrate for those who like that method over standard. So we have 62 as your divisor, and your dividend is 779. So we're going to come down here and we're going to rewrite this. And when you do box method, you leave plenty of room. So since we have 3 digits here, we're going to have 3 columns right here. And write your numbers close to the edge here. 779. And then you do 1 column at a time. So again, we have divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. First we divide. 62 cannot go into 7. So 0, now we multiply. 0 times 62. A lot of them are getting confused of what to multiply. You're multiplying the digit that you put up here times your divisor. Oops. So 0 times 62 is 0. Okay, we've multiplied. Now we subtract. 7 minus 0 is 7. Now, with box method, we are not bringing down, we are bringing up. So, and they need to draw arrows so they understand what they're doing. So the 7 comes up here and joins the other 7, making 77. And now we repeat. So we're going to repeat that process with 62 and 77. 62 will fit inside 77 without going over 1 time. Now we multiply this number times the divisor, which 1 times 62 is 62. Now we subtract. We are finding the difference of 77 and 62, which is 15. Now we bring this up, and now we have 159 to work with. 62 will go into 159 how many times? Well, let's make some multiples of 62 and see. 62 times 2 is 124. 62 times 3 is 186. This one is too big. So the closest we can get without going over is 124, which is 2 times. Now we multiply the 2 times 62, which is 124, and then find the difference of 159 and 124. 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. 1 minus 1 is nothing. So we have 35. Remainder of 35. So we're going to come up here and put our answer. 12 with a remainder of 35. And now we are going to do IO and check that answer. And it's the same thing. You're going to multiply your quotient by your divisor, which is 12 times 62, or some of them might write it 62 times 12. With multiplication and addition, you can flip those numbers. With multiplication and addition, it doesn't matter what order that you add or multiply the numbers. And there's a property called the commutative property. that explains that. So whichever way they write it, both ways are correct. But if they are doing box method, they're going to write these numbers out in expanded form. So let's use this one, 62 times 12. They're going to write that in expanded form. So 62 in expanded form is 60 plus 2. Okay? And then 12 in expanded form is 10 plus 2. So when they do box method, they're going to make a box, and they're going to write 60 plus 2 across the top, and then 10 plus 2 down the side, and then they're going to draw a box. And here is where they will multiply this 10 by the 60 and the 2, and then the 2 also by the 60 and the 2. 10 times 60 is 600. 10 times 2 is 20. 2 times 60 is 120. And 2 times 2 is 4. And then you add all these together. And you get 744. But then don't forget, we have a remainder. So if you get here and this is not matching this, ask yourself, do I have a remainder? Well, why certainly we sure do this time. So 744 and add in that remainder. And there you go. 779, 779. We have matched it. We are correct. We have made a happy family. Okay, let's do number 7 together, and I'm going to leave number... There was one we did in class, and I told them they could do it tonight, solve it tonight. But I didn't bring it home with me, and I don't remember what the numbers were, so we'll have to talk about that tomorrow. But let's move on. Let's go ahead and do number 7. So if you need to pause to catch up or write this down or rewind and watch again, go ahead. I'm going to clear this page and then do number 7. I don't know why it's acting silly like that. Okay. So number 7. Solve in IO. 920 divided by 40. So if they are doing this box method, it's going to look like this. $40 cannot go into 9. That's a 0. Now don't forget, divide, multiply, subtract, bring up, and repeat. So we divided. Now we have to multiply. 0 times 40 is 0. Now we subtract. 9 minus 0 is 9. Now we bring up. We have 92. 40 will fit into 92 2 times. Now we multiply. 2 times 40 is 80. Now we subtract. You have 12. Now we bring up. 12 becomes 120. How many times will 40 fit into 120? Well, this is one of our multiples of 10. So let's see. Here's our basic facts here. And 4 fits into 12 3 times. We cancel out our zeros. That's 3. So 40 will fit inside 120 3 times. 3 times 40 is 120. No remainders. The answer is 23. So over here, we are going to multiply our answer by our divisor to make sure we are correct. So 23 times 40. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Now we're done with that. We're moving on to our 4, which is in the tens place, which is why we put a 0 here. Our answers need to begin in the tens place, And if we just start there and we have a number there, then there's no blank here. So there's a blank there. So we put a 0 there as a placeholder. So 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus our regrouping, 8 is 9. Add these together and you have 920. And that is our answer. So this is 23 and we are correct. All right, let's do the last one together. We'll do this one standard, but quite honestly, standard and box are the same. The only difference is when you're doing standard, you're bringing down and you're working downwards. And box method, you're working across. So let's do this one standard. So we have 332 divided by 29. First step, divide. Second step is multiply. Third step, subtract. Fourth step, bring down. And then repeat. 29 cannot go into 3, so we're going to come over to the next 3. And now we have 33. 29 will fit into 33 one time. We've divided. Now we multiply. 1 times 29 is 29. Now we subtract the difference of 33 and 29, which is 4. Now we've subtracted. Now we bring down. Draw the arrows under there so you know where you're at. We're bringing that 2 down to meet the 4. And there you have it, 42. How many times will 29 fit into 42? Well, we know that 129 is 29. 29 2 times is 58. That's too many. So it will only go in there one time. And now we are back to our multiplication. 1 times 29 is 29. Now we are subtracting. We're going to have to do a little regrouping. 12 minus 9 is 3. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So we have 11 with a remainder of 13. So when you go over here to multiply, you're going to multiply this times this. And then whatever that answer is, you're going to add in that. And then your final total should be that. So we have 29 times 11. And we'll do this one box method just to demonstrate that again. Writing these numbers out in expanded form. 20 plus 9. And then 10 plus 1. So this is 29 in expanded form. This is 11 in expanded form. I'm going to draw our boxes. And then this 10 will get multiplied by the 20 and by the 9. And this 1 will get multiplied by the 20 and the 9. So 10 times 20 is 200. 10 times 9 is 90. 20 times 1 is 20. 1 times 9 is 9. And now we're going to add all those together. 200, 90, 20, and 9. They got to make sure those place values are lined up. 9, 9, 10, 11, 1, carry the 1. And then that's 3. 319. And then don't forget, we got to add in that 13. Remember, if this number is not matching this number, ask yourself, do I have a remainder? Because that remainder needs to be added on to that. So 9 plus 3 is 12. So 2, and regroup the 1. 1, 2, 3. And then 3 plus nothing. And there we have it, 332. 332, we are correct. The answer is 11, remainder 13. I know this is hard and I know it's confusing, but don't worry, we are going to practice a lot. We are practicing this a lot. So please don't get discouraged. You are smart cookies, and we will get this. And have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.